If you're not a newer manga fan, then you've heard it all before. Blank series is too long. I'm talking about stories like Detective Conan, One Piece, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and in some cases they're not wrong. For some anime watchers, they're usually the cause for filler arcs, and in many cases these are the series that have extended their run, perhaps due to their success. And you'll probably feel like if you're a new reader coming in, like you're getting hit with a wave of spiritual pressure like in Bleach. These are series that could have extended their run due to frequent bursts of hiatuses, and I'm mainly talking about you, Togashi. And as readers, we're passengers on the mangaka ship, but what if that ship loses touch with reality? What if that ship loses its sense of direction, or perhaps it changes its purpose in sailing entirely? What I want to take a little bit of time to talk about today is the length of manga series. What determines how long a manga should go on, and what that means for the readership, what that means in terms of its quality. Is a manga actually better if it's a longer running series, or is it better if it has a shorter run? What can make a manga series just way too long, and when it's time for a creator to just put the pen down? Okay, let's just kick this off and just jump straight into this. So, man, I cannot stand when people say that just because a series is long running that it has to necessarily be worse off than a shorter running series. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean on that, because obviously we've had some really great long running series. The big three, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, even though nobody really likes how Bleach ended and on the manga, me included, and One Piece is ever still going.
But you know what, I don't know, even though One Piece is still going, I kind of feel like to an extent it's kind of needed when you look at the industry as a whole, like the manga industry, because you think about it, that's probably one of the most, or not even probably, it is one of the most well-known series when it comes to at least Japan, and it's one of the most well-known worldwide. We know how many sales it has. It made Guinness Book of World Records.
True, but do you think it's too long though?
Well, yeah, I do think, my personal opinion, I feel like One Piece is a bit too long just because of the, I feel like every arc kind of has a bit of repetition. Well, not every arc, let me correct myself, so that no one jumps on me, but I feel like a lot of the arcs are just the Straw Hat crew going from island to island. Luffy may or may not get a new crew member, and if he does get a new crew member, mainly it's based on oppression happening on the island. You have this overarching villain who's oppressing the people, and it only happens as a result of Luffy feeling bad for his new friend that he made. And it's rinse and repeat each time, with the exception of maybe Marineford or Impel Down or something like that. And that's the problem I have with some longer series. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I fully agree with you on that because, obviously because it's a longer running series, you could notice that more frequently, if you will. But, other series, when they go into another arc, tend to do some, similar repetitive arcs and whatnot. That's kind of the whole problem people had with Bleach, was that the Roncar arc, basically was a similar formula to the Soul Society arc. But obviously, it's okay, when you've got so many hiatuses going on, and going back to the case of Togashi, I personally think that's going too long. What do you think?
Well, no, of course. I understand that mangakas, see, the problem is when it comes to some of these hiatuses in Japan, I think it's such a common thing because within Japanese culture, you'll have, it's a very hardworking culture. We know that people will work these long extended hours, nonstop. And the difference between how things are done in the manga industry, of course, versus the comic book industry is that in the comic book industry, you'll have maybe creators do runs of stories. You have them do short runs, or maybe even do it for a certain number of years and they're done, and then someone else will tell the story. But in manga, it's they'll just keep going. And I kind of feel like a lot of these creators really don't know where their stopping point is, Yeah.
That would make sense, especially in cases like, Fairy Tail, where it just seemed like after the Terojima arc, this dude didn't, it seemed like he was just servicing the fans.
So do you think servicing the fans is necessarily a bad thing then? Because to be fair, I think everyone enjoys a good fan service moment because the whole point of a fan service moment is to try to give you what you expect or what you're looking for.
Well, fan service to me is like little treats here and there, you know, throughout the content of the series. But when your plot literally is revolving around the fan service, that's when it's the problem. It's like, now I don't know what direction it's going in. And to rely on the fans to direct that, well, I mean, the fans are looking towards you to figure out where this is going. I mean, when you let the fans take control, it just gets out of hand. Everybody's got their own opinions here and there for what they want for that series.
Okay, so if we're talking about a longer running story, like let's say, for example, One Piece. One Piece likes to show a full cast of characters, and we have this massive cast and different
I mean, One Piece in itself is a giant monster. That's one of those things where, you know, it's a whole discussion in and of itself. So, I mean, and as much as I like to touch on that, I mean, we don't even have the time in the world for that right now. Other than that, I mean, yeah, a series goes on too long for me personally with too many hiatuses, and a story gets bad, and it's milking money.
So quality versus, or I should say short running series versus long running series. Do you think just by default that a longer series is bad, you know, over a short running series? Or do you think that, you know, because you'll have people say that, you know, that short running series, if let's say you take Full Metal, which I would consider more of a mid-tone series versus, let's say, you know, One Piece that's longer. You know, can you really say just because Full Metal is shorter that it would have higher quality or that it's able to get those points across?
Shorter versus long isn't really the problem here. It's quality all around, in my opinion, you know. But again, this is topics we go into another time. In fact, you guys let me know your thoughts on all of this. You know, what makes a series too long, and short versus long, you know, is there really a difference between the two and how they handle this? Anyway, Shining Lights, this has been In.
And it's Cloud9.
Catch y'all later.